What is up, DTube? Steem blockchain. So today I want to talk a little bit about the topic of Steem and how successful it may become, depending on a bunch of different factors. But I want to focus on one main point in this video. So I was on the Steem blockchain and I was reading. I'm going to show to you. Let's see. I was reading a post from. Let's see. I'm gonna read this. I was reading this post and it's from Marco Jantunen, and he makes a lot of great posts. And I want to focus on one of the things here, and that's at the end, and sort of say my view of this, especially when it comes to Steam success and the long-term aspect. So I quote. But ultimately, it will come down to how successful Steem can be at rapidly onboarding new users or communities of new users. And then there was a comment from DanDesign86 that said, it's a little bit like Catch-22. We need money to attract users, but we need users to attract the money. Then Markki Jantunen responded with, I think we need killer apps like Splinterlands. Money can only attract a small group of early adopters. It's mathematically impossibility to pay meaningful rewards to most users to the extent some people get paid on Steam now. So my view on long-term Steam success, when I try to determine is there how I look at sort of, let's say, value, I try to look at how dedicated are people to creating something beautiful. How dedicated are they to the process? And are they truly enjoying what they're doing? And are they really putting in a serious effort? Are they really investing a lot of time and energy into creating something beautiful? And are you getting access to something that feels maybe rare, or maybe that they really did something, and that you can really see that they really are trying to do their best, and that the main reward actually for them is the process itself of doing something. So I try to determine the success of something looking at the dedication. How dedicated are they to the process of creating something beautiful? Especially I look at this from the content creator aspect, but it could also be developers and other people. You try to see, are they really working hard at the process and not really that concerned about the result. That's really the goal, I think, because when people are really dedicated to the process, and if you're getting those people on board, then they're going to be rare, like because they don't have to be rare. I mean, it's not some universal law that it has to be rare with people that's dedicated to the process, but usually those people stand out. And you try to determine, is this place getting those people, those high level people that just focusing on the process of creating something amazing. And that's also a buzzword that has been I mean, it has been corrupted in many ways when people say, oh, we're going to create something amazing and all this. But when you really take, and then you really have to look, you have to observe someone's action and see, okay, are they really dedicated? Are they really putting in an effort? Or are they just derping around? So I don't think just onboarding new users will change that much. I think you really have to start to look at building up human beings, which probably means you have to figure out ways to allocate resources to people that really are investing a lot of their, let's say, human being into doing something. And I think that is that's where you're going to get the highest return on investment eventually. Human beings that are basically building themselves up at a slow rate, and then grows and grows and grows and grows. Then eventually you're gonna get something amazing, because there's some people that can scale things amazing. So if you focus on human beings that are really dedicated to the process, and they're always joyful, they're always happy, they're always working, that is when I think the magic is going to happen. I mean, it's like, and that's gonna be a grind, grinding up these people. I mean, it's gonna take some time, and it's gonna take a lot of sacrifices. That is where I think the magic is going to happen, because I think even if you onboard many users, you still have this, you still have it, that you need to sort of focus a lot of attention and energy on people that are really doing something, let's say, extra. And that's up to, of course, people to decide like what is extra and stuff like that. But if you just get a bunch of users, I don't really think that's going to change that much, because I really do not think these new technology systems, I mean, they're not really dependent on the masses in many ways. Now, I know that people are gonna say, "Well, you need the masses for the price," and I do know that people are sort of looking at it that way as well. But I think eventually humans are sort of going to realize that it's more it's more reward in the process. So that might sound super confusing, but let me try to explain this. So, I mean, seeing we have endless money in this world. Like there's not a shortage of money. Uh, there's a shortage of truly empowered human beings, and truly empowered human beings that actually can be real leaders, and actually that's genuine, authentic, and really care. And so I think that we could we could throw thousands of apps, thousands of new users on stuff, and thousands of dollars on stuff like that. But if people are not, if you don't have people that's dedicated to the process, all of this is just gonna go down the drain, I think, because it's just gonna be like, as I talked about in the past, it's just gonna be like a bucket of water with a hole inside of it. I don't really think you can. I mean, I think that people want to put force to humans and sort of try to force them to do stuff, or force them, not force, but try to push sort of pressure to humans to behave in a certain way. I only think, the solution is going to be people that are dedicated to creating something beautiful. And I think that that's when the real magic is going to happen. And I already see it. I see when people are sort of working hard, and when people are dedicated, and I see that it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time to empower these people. It's not a short thing. It takes probably decades to truly create amazing human beings. Of course, you can speed it up in many ways, but yeah, I think the magic is going to happen. That the key here is actually that what people do not really want is, I mean, I've seen this in many ways. People want the access, and people want the fun, and people want, they may not know about it, but they actually want the process. Uh, and when you can get that right formula in place, that is truly when magic, I think, is going to happen. So I don't think you need the mainstream masses anymore, as I already showcased in other stuff, that this proof of brain stuff basically in many ways means that you can do a lot of cool stuff with a smaller number of people, and those people can basically then influence a larger group. So that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. So uh, I really do believe in the process, and I only think that that's going to be the only sort of thing that really can get things moving. when people are truly willing to change their behavior, and yeah, I think that's going to be when the magic happens. So that's what I want to talk a little bit about today, and I'm probably going to talk about more about this in future videos, because it's something that's, I think, is truly interesting to talk about, because everyone is so obsessed about results these days, while if you just focus on the process, that's really when the magic happens.